This week, we are going to work on identifying being and linking verbs, and also we're going to talk about predicate nouns and predicate adjectives. So first, we're going to talk about being verbs. A being verb is a verb that shows a state of being. So basically, these are not action verbs. They're not something that you can physically do, but they're still a verb. So it's important for you to be able to pick them out in a sentence, especially in your own sentences, to make sure that you have complete sentences. So I'm going to give you a list of the being verbs, and you can add them on your paper. The being verbs are all the forms of the verb be, so it's am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. I don't know if I can resize this. Here we go. So am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Those are all the forms of be. So these are not action verbs, like I said. However, they are still verbs. So they're not something you can physically do, but it's still a verb. The next one that we're going to talk about is linking verbs. So a linking verb is a being verb that links the subject of a sentence with a predicate noun or a predicate adjective. And sometimes linking verbs, depending on how they're used, could also be action verbs, but in these sentences, they are not going to be action verbs. So keep that in mind. Although they can be action verbs, they are not in these examples, okay? So when you have a linking verb, it is going to link to a predicate noun or a predicate adjective. So it's going to link the subject. So the definition of a predicate noun is a noun that renames or identifies the subject. So if it could replace the subject and it is a noun and it's a link to the subject with a linking verb, it is a predicate noun. So the first example I'm going to give you is Miss Allen is our teacher. Okay. Now looking at this example, the subject is who or what the sentence is about. So the subject is Miss Allen. Now the linking verb is actually going to be a being verb. So it's a form of be. So the verb is. Now there is a noun in the predicate, so the second half of the sentence, that is linked to Miss Allen by is. And it is a predicate noun, so it could replace Miss Allen. And this example is teacher. So teacher is a noun, and it's linked by is to Miss Allen, and it could replace Miss Allen, because Miss Allen is a teacher. Okay? Now the second example that I want to give you is he was our basketball coach. Okay, the subject of this sentence, so who or what the sentence about, is he. The linking verb is another example of a being verb. So it's a form of be, so am, is, are, was. So was is the verb. And then the noun that links he, or that links to he by was, he was, what noun could replace he? The answer is coach. So it's not basketball, and the reason for that is because basketball would not place he. He was not a basketball. However, he was a coach. So coach is the predicate noun that is linked to he by was. Now over here we have predicate adjectives. A predicate adjective is an adjective that describes the subject. So when we talk about predicate nouns replace the subject. Miss Allen is a teacher. Teacher could replace Miss Allen. Coach could replace he. It is a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. However, when we're looking at predicate adjectives are not going to replace the subject, but they're going to describe the subject. So for example, the garden is colorful. So the subject of this sentence is who or what the sentence about, and it is garden. And the linking verb is a being verb, and so it is, because is a form of be. And then there's an adjective in the predicate of the sentence, so the second half, that describes garden. And that adjective is colorful. So colorful is linked by is to garden, and it describes how it looks. Now this next example is going to be an example of a linking verb that could absolutely be an action verb, but it's not in this example. So the dinner smells amazing. Okay, so the subject of this sentence, so who or what the sentence is about, is dinner. And the verb in this sentence is smells. Now, smells could be used as an action verb. If I said, I smelled the roses, I am physically smelling the roses. However, the dinner is not physically smelling anything because it can't. It's food. So it is a linking verb in this example, and it's linking dinner to an adjective at the end of the sentence that describes how it smells. And that adjective is amazing. So amazing is linked by smells to dinner, and it describes dinner. So those are your being and linking verbs. And then also predicate nouns and predicate adjectives that are linked to the verb.